Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m., February 18th. Hope everybody had a good 3-day weekend. Mondays are always weird to have off. It's nice, but then you miss trading. So, like I said, I hope everybody had a good day trading. Welcome to my channel. All right. Now, there's a bunch of garbage sessions that have went on. Not really important. On Friday, we were pretty much unchanged in the market. Very small range. Um, Wound up having a decent trade at the end, not end of the day, like midday. I basically pretty much got long off the lows, and that trading session was very balanced. I was live and I was explaining how a balanced profile will lead to a range-bound day, and the auction is complete, and that's exactly what happened. And market internals were very benign; they were in parity, so the market wasn't strong enough to go up or down. So those are just the things I look for. And without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and buying profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day, and my bread and butter, market internals, which drive my trade setups. Okay. Now every day I do this in the morning. Hopefully you can come join me. Subscribe, set an alert. That would mean a lot to me. Okay. Now I give you the news, leaders and laggards, the recap of the markets, basically the story of the markets. Okay. And I give you trade scenarios. Now, if those trade scenarios with the market open and the new data present me with a trade and it's educational, I will create a short. And I just posted one, I believe, on Friday or yesterday. Yesterday. So I put another one out there. Hopefully, you guys checked it out. It's on my YouTube Shorts. You could also check it out on X at Gonzo719. Check out TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. All right. Now I have a Discord community, and that is called Confluence Trading, and that's a place where you have more interaction with myself. I've been going there live and basically showing everybody how I look at markets. My goal is to just show everyone a different way to look at markets, a different way to understand why the market's doing what it's doing. Okay, I do have trade setups, but that's not really my goal right now is to give you trade setups because those are very proprietary to each person. Okay, my goal is to show everyone how the market works. Okay, because there's a reason why stuff happens, right? So I use market profile, volume profile, market internals, supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, and I just combine them. Hence the name Confluence Trading. Okay, so hopefully you join and get more interaction with myself. Okay, all right, let's go right into futures watch list here. Let's see what's moving markets this morning. Now this morning there's very low volume, very low. It's like almost half. So not that great. Now I don't know if that's from the 3-day weekend. I don't know if any of the Asian countries have a vacation or holiday today, but it is pretty bad volume. So maybe that picks up. Hopefully it does. All right, let's check out here what's moving the markets. VIX is up 1.17%. We're still slightly under a 16 VIX. Gold's up 0.96. 10-year yield spiking again, up 0.92. Crude, crude was up a percent earlier, over a percent. Now it's down. Now it's up 0.48. Dollars up 0.42. Nasdaq's up 0.38. ES up 0.33. Russell's up 0.28. Silver's up 0.18. Okay. And the Dow's up 0.15. 30-year bonds being sold down 0.54. Bitcoin's down 1.10. And Ethereum's down 1.11. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Let's look at those. All right. Leading the pack today, Nvidia. Nvidia's up 1.74%. Cracked the 140 price level again. Eli Lilly. Now I'm looking at Eli Lilly. If you join the community server, the Discord server, Confluence Trading, I do a weekend breakdown. I do it every weekend, so I figured I would just share that with everybody. Now, if you join the community here, I want to show you basically what I do every weekend. All right, so here's that right here. So here's my server. And in the weekend outlook index sector stocks, I see I break down the indexes, the sectors, Mag 7, this watch list, then I have top sector stock, then I have a hot stock list. All right, and then I give my thoughts on the market. And basically, I just sum it up. I'll just read it. So here are my thoughts on the current markets. Currently, QQQ broke a downtrend and looking like it wants all-time highs. SPY also broke downtrend, just not as strong. The Dow and the Russell are in balance and really not going anywhere. The hottest sectors have been financials and communications. There's just a lot of indecision in the markets right now. Nvidia did make a big move off 130. However, if you look at the semiconductor ETF, it's in the middle of a large range. Many stocks that I reviewed on my list are above on my list above are in what I call ultimate balance. This means they are coiling and at the most traded price of the week and the most traded price of the month and are ready for a breakout. No one knows when these stocks will break out. However, the more it coils, the bigger the move. I have a very low conviction on what will really happen in the coming week. A scenario that might come to fruition in the markets can go up a little more and have a blow off top, and then we have some type of correction, but I don't really know. These are just my thoughts going over all the markets and sectors. Hopefully this helps some people out. If anyone has questions or suggestions, please let me know. So you can get that I do that every weekend. So like I said, come join. All right, now let's look at Mag 7s. We did that already. So as far as the Eli Lilly in my list, if I go back to it, I like a long there. Again, this is not financial advice. So pull back to a breakout level 844. I put it right here, and 200 moving average. 200 moving average, possible long here. All right, so I already have a bull call spread put in to see if I can get in. It's already bouncing today. Now, also, I think it was Stanley Druckenmiller, I think, has a position in Eli Lilly as well. That's helping it. All right, so let's move on. AMD up 0.81, Coinbase up 0.62, Google's up 0.56. Is there a laggard? The only one is Broadcom, and that's not even down. 0.12 is not nothing to be down about. Top sectors, let's go into those. Let's see here. Snowflake is up 2.88. Salesforce up 0.63. Uber's up 0.37. All right. Oh, Cat is another one I'm looking at. Let's see here. Johnson & Johnson still battling, I think, that talc powder suit. United Healthcare down 0.86. I noticed healthcare is taking somewhat of a little bit of a hit this morning. Certain stocks like CVS, United Healthcare. I don't know why currently. UPS down 1.09%. All right, let's get into the granular list here. Supermicro computers up 6.60. Constellation Brands up 6.48. Intel has some news with Broadcom that Intel might split into two, something like that. Up 5%. I think this is Bath and Body Works up 4.61. I believe this is Arista up 2.98. Baba reports earnings this week up 2.94. Micron up 2.45. Western Digital up 2.13. Chris Therapeutics up 2.11. All right, let's look at some laggards here. Medtronic down 4.45. IonQ down 2.19. I believe somebody just shed, I think it was Amazon, shed their holdings in IonQ. SoundHound down 2.33. Wayfair down 2.29. Ford down 2%. Cloudflare down 1.32. Nubank down 1.31. Mara down 1.18. All right, there's your laggards. And that's the wrong column that I'm sorting. All right, let's move on to the guts of the market. Okay, let's move on to those guts. All right, semiconductors up 0.96. Technology up 0.57. So those are the heavyweights. Okay, semis obviously is encompassing it, technology, but technology is the heavyweight. All right, financials is pretty large, second largest sector. Weight, market cap weight up 0.29. Discretionary up 0.28. Energy's up 0.24. A lot of positives here and no laggard. There's no negative, put it that way. All right, I think we could go over to some economic calendar, some news. Let's do that together. All right. Yesterday we had a bunch of Fed speak. Today we have more Fed speak, Fed daily, 10:20 and 1 p.m. Fed bar. We have 10 a.m. NHAB housing market index. Okay. Now on Wednesday we have FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Thursday initial jobless claims, Philly Fed, Fed Goolsby, crude inventories, and then more Fed speak, Fed Mussolem, Barr, and Kugler. And then Friday we have PMI at 9:45 and existing home sales at 10 a.m. and Michigan consumer sentiment and more Fed speak. Okay, nothing real major here as far as that. All right, now the big earnings are pretty much done. I think Walmart reports this week in Alibaba, but not much that stocks that move the market or anything like that. Now, let's get into some news. Okay, so here's the news I was talking about. Intel shares jumped in pre-market. U.S. trading on Wall Street Journal report that semiconductor giants Broadcom and Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company were exploring potential deals that would split the U.S. chip-making group in two. A regional Delta Airlines plane flipped upside down upon landing on Toronto Pearson Airport on Monday, leaving 18 of the 80 people on board injured. Shares in the U.S. carrier were lower. Southwest Airlines shares rose after the group said it planned to slash around 50% of corporate jobs. Let's see. HIMS shares slumped after analysts of Morgan Stanley slashed their rating of the telehealth firm to equal weight from overweight. Constellation Brands shares surged on news that Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway had taken a new position in the maker of Corona and Modelo beers. Lyft stock price dipped below the flat line after analysts at Arete Research downgraded their rating of the ride-hailing group to sell from hold, citing risk to firm's target from rival Uber. All right, let's look at any more. Here's the Johnson & Johnson begins crucial battle over the 10 billion baby powder settlement. Now crude. So crude says oil extended gains after a drone attack on Russian pipeline disrupted supply flows. Through rising global output cap further price increases. All right. Just trying to see here. I don't think there's much that I wanted to talk about that I didn't already say. All right. I think we're done there. I think we can look at upgrades, downgrades, and we can get onto the daily charts here. All right, let's look at these upgrades. Bath and Body Works upgraded from neutral to overweight. Booking hold to a buy. Cisco upgraded to hold to a buy. Gilead hold to a buy. Snowflake upgraded from peer perform to outperform. All right, Wynn Resorts upgraded from a hold to a buy. All right, let's look at downgrades. I think we'll end at downgrades. Downgrades. Datadog downgraded outperformed the peer perform. HIMS, we just saw that. Downgraded overweight to equal weight. Hood outperformed the peer perform. Leslie's buy to underperform. Merck buy to hold. Moderna overweight to equal weight. Let's see here. That's it. All right. Let's go over to the daily charts. All right. Let's go over to the daily charts. Let me bring it up. Remember, I explained in detail what I saw over the weekend. Okay. And like I said, you get that every weekend when you join the Discord server. Let's look at daily charts. All right. So on Friday, right? Let's go to SPY first. Okay. On Friday, what did we do? Right? We made all-time highs. Right? Made all-time highs. 610.99. Couldn't make it to 611. Right? But pretty much had like a balancing day. We had a big day on Thursday, and I was saying that a lot of times when you have a big day like this, the market tends to like digest the move and you kind of balance. And that's what we did. Right? So we broke this downtrend. Right? We broke this downtrend. We broke the previous week's highs. So it made new weekly range. Okay. Hit last month's highs and went above it, obviously creating new all-time highs. All right. Where are we at now? Well, okay. So right now we're at 612. Excuse me. 612.20. We're all the way up here. So we're gapping up today. We're gapping up today. Now remember, futures still traded Sunday into Monday, and then Monday night into this morning. So that's explanation for the gap. Okay, let's look at the future so we can actually see. Right, so this would be this session, 24-hour session, pretty much Friday, or actually, um, yeah. So this is today, this morning. Now in futures, you did not make an all-time high. That is 61.78.75. So we still got more room to go. Okay. Now you can see this is last week's highs. We're right above it right now. Okay. You can see we made new weekly highs as well in futures. Okay. Let's just see what we do. We got a lot of resistance up in here around 61.70. 61.70, 61.66 is a lot of resistance. You have some resistance right here as well. Last month's highs, right? There we go for the ES and the SPY. So now let's look at the Qs. The Qs, the good old Qs. All right. So in these Qs, you just like had a strong move. You didn't balance. You had trend continuation. So the Qs picked up some steam, right? They were relatively stronger on Friday. They made bigger move. Okay. Now they couldn't make an all-time high. That's 539.15. Okay. They closed at 50.38.15. Now, currently right now in the pre-market, it's 540. Let's call it 70. That is all-time highs. Gapping up 540.70 all the way up here. So they are gapping up and they're going to set all-time highs when we open. Right? Let's look at futures. So you don't have any overhead supply or resistance to really work off in the QQQ. You do in the NASDAQ futures, right? Look at this. Higher low, higher low, higher low. We keep going higher, right? This is above last week's highs, which is right here, right? And 22,450 is the all-time high. So they're not there yet. Okay. And you can see that's last month's. Well, that's not last month's highs. The previous month before that's highs. Okay. So this market's just relentless. Tariffs, DeepSeek tariffs could not bring this market down. Did not bring the market down. All right. So now that we just went over that, we can get right into the main event, and that's the Nasdaq and Nasdaq and ES futures analysis. Okay, and we're gonna go right to that now with this very low trading volume here. Let's go right into it. Actually, I'm sorry, I skipped this section. The triple-headed monster. I'm skipping my little triple-headed monster here. Let's go over that 10-year yield. Let's see what that's doing. Let's see it. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's look at that 10-year yield. So the 10-year yield thought you were going higher, then went lower. And let's see if this becomes a swing high and we break this high. So that's what the bond market's doing. I don't know if I put this up. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. The dollar. Let's look at that Dixie. The dollar is definitely trending lower, right? And that is better news for companies in America, right, who export stuff, that's going to improve the balance sheet. When you have a strong dollar, that will impact sales. So, and let's look at our fear gauge. Now, remember I said around 15, 16 VIX. Yes, we are right here, right there. So we're kind of like, I mean, this is not like super low volatility like down here, like on a 13 or 12 or 11. We're close to a 16 VIX. This is a 1% expected move, plus or minus an SP 500. I don't know if you come close to that today with this low volume, but that's your triple headed monster. All right. Now, going back, like I said, to the main event, it's the market profile and volume profile right here. And you could see the ranges are very small. So that is Friday's range, right? Or actually, this is Friday's range. Then you have after the close. Then you have Sunday into Monday, or yesterday's range. I'm sorry, yesterday's little baby range. Then you have the overnight activity from, so this is the bigger range this morning, right? And you can see we're gapping up, and it gets a little tricky. So what I like to do is merge, and merge. Okay, so what I like to do is merge all these sessions together. Let me just make sure I'm merging all the right ones. No, I'm not. Hold on. Remove merges. These got to be the overnights, not the real time. Let's see. Merge. Merge. All right. So this is what I like to do, because those other sessions don't really mean much to me. So I make it one big session. All right. We look at this like one big overnight session. Okay. So this is our market profile, volume profile. Now we're going to look at some structure and some levels together. All right. Now this is our rolling weekly composite volume profile. Okay. Now the 24-hour session has moved the most traded price of the week up higher. That probably will move as well today. It was previously like 60.89 or 60.88. Probably will move up here today. Okay, so you can see the value is up here in the 24-hour session. All right. Now, what do we have up here? Now, this right here is a high volume node, composite high volume node right here. This 6132. We broke that, and we were struggling with it a little bit on Friday, but we broke that and we're up here. Okay, we're up here. And we're balanced, right? This is much long, this much short. Okay. Now, we do have some levels to talk about. All right. So this overnight low, 6136, lines up with that high volume node and the most traded price from Friday. So bulls just want to defend that. Okay, you have a demand zone right here, you have a demand zone right here. So bulls just want to defend that. Now another area where bulls going to want to defend, you can see this 6146, 5145, 6144, this level. So you can see it's the most traded price of those three overnights, of the three last sessions, right? So 6145, 46 right here, right? That could be the gap fill. Okay, right in here, and we could bounce. Right now, there is supply. Okay, up here, and it starts. Well, there's a couple supplies. Got a little baby supply that it might have already been broken. 6153. That, let's see if that was broken. That was already, looks like it might have been broken. So I might have to get rid of that. But the next supply zone you have is 616250. Okay, 616250. All right. Now let's just, like I said, today's volume is very paltry. Not something to really be excited about. So the risk is going to be adjusted. All right. So let's just make this a lot bigger. Really expand this out. All right. So let's do some scenarios here. Hopefully today is just like people getting back to the office or whatever, because I'm not a big fan of this low trading volume like this. All right. We are going to start with the bull case because we're in a bullish posture. All right. We're up here. Price. Okay. Price is way up here, 61.55. Okay. So like I said, this one big demand zone accounts for a lot of levels that I just talked about, but I like to break them down. So you have breakout level here, 61.46. All right. So that also is the most traded price of the overnight in this breakout level. So that is a level you got to pay attention to. Okay. Happens to also be last week's highs. There's a lot of confluence there. Overnight VPOC, demand zone, week to date. There's so many. There's so many there. Okay. And then we have that confluence low. That 60, the overnight low with this big high volume node. That's the bull bear line for right now. You want that market to defend. You stay bullish above this level. I mean, now remember, in the grand scheme of grand schemes, we're obviously in a bull market. In the grand scheme. But when you're talking about the last week to 5 days, you lose this level. That is a little tip to the hat to the bears. Okay? You do have a demand zone right under here. So you can't really lose that. Okay? So, what would I be looking for today? Now, gap up, you got a gap fill, right? So, that's also in this level. So, let's just say we did this and we pulled back right to the gap fill, right to last week's highs. There's so many levels here. It's insane. So, we just got to see what do we do in this area. And then if you do get some strength, you go for this supply zone up here. And this naked VPOC, I would guess around 61.66 probably. Okay, that's just an untested most traded price of a day. Okay, remember, we could also pull back all the way to here, even do a little whoop and recover, and you could still move higher. Anything below this, I'm not really going to be that interested. Depends on how the market's shaking out, but I'm probably not going to be that interested. All right, bear side. All right. Now, right now I'm going to probably look for the long side because we're above this key level of 61.32. All right. However, let's say we push up, boop, into supply, and you start to get some weakness and get some lower highs. Well, you're definitely going to probably come back and test this level that I talked about, right? Gap fill, last week's highs, most traded price of the overnight, demand, week to day. It's just so many confluences here, right? If you take this out, you can see the amount of volume here, right? Right here, it's just so much volume. And you come down, you're going to test this high volume node. You're going to test it. Now, the big feather in the cap for the bears would be to break this level and find acceptance. You still have single prints down here, and you can really rip through these single prints, and you don't have the biggest volume here, and go back to the most traded price of the year, around 60.86 or so. Okay. Now, I don't know if that happens. The market has to be pretty weak in order to make this move, but you only can trade the market you have, right? We don't know how this market's going to look when it opens. That's the mystery every day. I can have these plans, but then I have to look at the data that comes out and really come out with a game plan. Okay. So that is your ES. And why don't we go right into the NASDAQ here? Okay, let's see what that NASDAQ's doing. And again, I will merge the sessions. We're going to look at some levels here. Remember, the NASDAQ made some powerful moves. Okay, so this is Friday. All right. right, so I'm going to merge the next couple sessions. We'll get a nice profile. There we go. All right, so now it just looks like good. I'm coming in. This is Friday, and this is all overnight. I'm considering this all overnight session. Okay. Now, let's look at structure. Let's look at levels. All right, so profile value area starts here and goes all the way up here. Most traded price of the week in the 24-hour session is here at 22130. All right. That is also the most traded price of Friday. Okay. Now, let's look at some more levels. Now, you can see on this session here, you broke the previous week's highs. Then you made new highs, right? So this is last week's highs, Friday's highs, 22224. Okay. Now, let's look at inventory. That's long to this much short. Doesn't really give much of an edge. You're at the top of this range, and guess what this is? A big supply zone. Pretty big supply zone here in the NASDAQ. Okay. Now, trying to see some levels that we can look at here. Okay. So this is right at the bottom of this demand zone. Okay. Right at the bottom, you have Friday's highs, right? You have the close and the overnight low in this demand zone. So bulls want to defend this area. All right, you can obviously up here as well. Bulls want to defend this area. You're gapping up pretty big, right? So in a gap like this, the midpoint is 22256. This is the 50% retracement of this move. Happens to line up with this demand zone. Okay. Now we're in supply, right? So for me, my rule is I don't go long in supply unless we're hanging out there for a while. But I generally don't like to go long in supply. You're asking for trouble. Okay? And that's, your rules should be there, that should be part of your edge, is the rules to not trade. Right? So I'm not going to trade up here. It just doesn't make sense for my style. All right? So up in here is your overnight highs, right? So got some demand. So basically, the bulls want to defend here and here. Now the most traded price of the overnight, let's see, right there is 22240. 22240. You also want to see the market hold that up. It happens to be the week-to-day view up as well. Okay, but you got to understand what's going on here. Now you got Nvidia pushing up, right? Even Eli Lilly, I believe, is in the QQQ, right? And you got a lot of the tech stocks getting love. So this is pushing up pretty nicely. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're all the way up here. I mean, look at this meteoric move. I mean, you ripped up, went higher, and now we're higher. I'm just stating that what we've done. Okay, what we've done. All right, I think we're ready for some scenarios here. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's talk about the long side. All right, we know we have demand here. 22256 is the 50% retracement of this overnight move. We have demand here. If you make this big box right here, I would just say it's this box. You got the close, the overnight low, right in here. Okay, so you want to see the market defend it. So this goes into supply. I want to see, what do we do when we pull back here? What do we do? Do we fill the gap, right, and come into this demand, and then we get bought up, and then we can make a move higher, right? That's a really big level, this 22224. Okay, a lot of confluence there. That's kind of like looking at it, all I'm interested in, be honest with you. The only other thing would be is if we start to push up into this supply and we start moving and we get some kind of move back down, that I might want to go long. Other than that, probably that's all I'm interested in, be honest with you. All right, bear side. Okay, we are in supply. We are pretty thin up here. So if we opened up and we ripped up, made, you know, hit the overnight highs, and we started to get weak, like lower high, we could definitely drop down into this area. All right, definitely go right to this most traded price of the overnight. Right, if we take this out, right, remember, and we take out this confluence low with the overnight low and the close, yeah, we definitely can retest the most traded price of the week, 22130, and the most traded price Friday. Okay, I would guess even if this gets violated, we kind of bounce and we might even stay here if we do. Now, of course, if we were to take out right here, right, this low, 22042, we definitely could fall. I just don't really see this in the cards as much. Okay, I see this more being realistic. Okay, that's what I'm seeing for today. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Now, if you did like my analysis, please give me a thumbs up, smash that like button. That would be much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay. Now, what was I going to say here? Now, we got our plan, right? This is low volume. Nasdaq's pretty strong, right? The ES, like I said, the sectors that make it up, there's certain sectors that are not moving. And it's kind of representative in the Dow and the Russell. Well, the Russell small caps, but they're just not really moving. If you look at the RSP, which is the equal weight ETF, it's not really going anywhere. Okay? Because in the SPY, it's a market cap weighted index. So the larger market cap weighted stocks, that's what moves our market. Okay? That's what moves our market, not these other stocks. They really don't affect it. Real estate does not affect the market, the sector. Energy, staples, utilities, basic materials, they do not move the market. Okay? We know Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, Google, they move our markets. Tesla, right? Those are the big boys that move the markets. Okay? So keep that in mind, and that's how I trade. Okay, that's how I trade. I want to see what moves our markets, what they're doing, right? So, with that being said, okay, with that being said, now hopefully I did have a nice long. I didn't even get into that. I did have a nice long. I'm going to have a video of it on Friday based on rules of volume profile. Now, I'm going to try to start when I do my live. I keep forgetting to record. So, I'm going to start recording them and then pulling out little gems because they pretty much come out what I'm saying. Pretty much, if whoever's been live, if they're in here, whatever I'm saying, usually the probability usually does happen. Only thing that I can't control is a news catalyst, right? So, pretty cool. So, now, if I have another trading video, like I said, I'm gonna make one today, so I'll put out another one. And where will I put that? In my YouTube Shorts and my X at Gonzo719, and my X at Gonzo719, and my TikTok Gonzo719 Trader. Now, if you really want the VIP access, come join my Discord server, Confluence Trading. This is where I give it a weekend analysis. I give you my in-depth feelings of how I feel the market's going to move. I will go live. I just feel like there's a lot of quality content there. And like I said, my goal isn't to do signals or alerts, trade like me. The goal is to take whatever I'm showing you and be like, oh man, that really works. I'm not even telling you got to do what I do, but just how I look at the market, right? How I look at the market, how the market actually works. I believe that's how I trade, right? I want to go off of how the market works. All right, now, so every day, hopefully you join me. Do this every day. Join my channel, subscribe, set an alert, along with the Discord channel. All right, Discord server, Confluence Trading, and I welcome all of you. All right, now everybody, have a great day. No trade to trade. Stay green, and I will see you tomorrow or later in my Discord server if you join. All right, everybody.